You're noted, Mantis. I've... Excuse me. I've seen how the Mantises work. They're not this sloppy. And your uniform looks like it's straight out of a costume shop. So I'll ask you again. Who are you, and who do you work for? Kangir turns her back to the man before her. Tied to a chair and beaten half unconscious, he's no threat. She rummages through her pack, having trouble finding what she's looking for in the dim light inside the abandoned Absalonian warehouse. Here we are. She pulls out a small tied bundle with a flourish. You know, you'd be amazed at the alternate uses you can find for a nice, sharp set of thieves' tools. She smiles at her captive, unties the bundle and lets it unravel. The sharp, jagged metal picks gleam in the flickering torchlight. The man in the chair licks his lips. You can tell me who sent you, who decided that they'd rather kill me than pay me, or I can show you some of my favorites among those alternate uses. She pulls a particularly long and hooked pick off the kit and holds it up in the air as if admiring it. This is a fun one. I think we'll start here.
Wait.
Kandir lowers the pick and smiles. Yes?
Doatara Kilorbian. She hired me, and she probably hired you too. She had myself and a few others taking out lowlives for her. Makes us do it wearing these costumes, says it draws away suspicion since the Mantises are already here killing folks. Last 2 jobs I did were people just like you. One was a burglar and one was a forger. They were both expecting to get paid for doing some kind of work. But I don't know what. I'm not even supposed to know it's her that I'm working for. But I used to work for her as a guard and I recognized the voice. I'm sure if she knew I knew, I'd be as dead as you should have been.
You're even dumber than you look.
I said I haven't let it slip that I know who she...
Not that. The other Mantis attacks. They're all fakes too. They might have the idiot masses fooled, but anyone in our line of work should be able to tell the difference between a real Red Mantis assassination and a fake. In fact, this Doatara, she's in the Petal District, right? I recognize that name. Some kind of politician?
Yes, that's right.
Perfect. Kandir ties her thieves' tools back up, tossing them into her pack, and tosses it over her shoulder.
Where are you going?
I have a feeling that if the rest of her assassins are as sloppy as you are, we'll be getting a chance to see an actual Mantis attack pretty soon. And I know just where I would go to plan something like that. She moves towards the door.
Hey, wait. What about me? You can't just leave me here. I can't move. I can barely even see.
You're right. Let me help you with that. Kandir snuffs out the warehouse's only torch and, ignoring her would-be killer's further pleas for help, heads out into the city, locking the door behind her. She looks up at the night sky and smiles. I have a feeling tomorrow will be the perfect day to get some dumplings.
This is Pod Against the Machine. Welcome back to Jimmy Fame Presents Bonus Against the Machine, more pod for your bod, sponsored by Charlie at the Lizard Folks Chicken Emporium, more cluck for your buck. I am your GM, Jeff, back with our group of friendly players playing as assassins. They're definitely not assassins in real life. We are continuing the Mark of the Mantis one-shot in Pathfinder 2nd Edition. And when last we left our intrepid band of ne'er-do-wells, they had been kind of put into a situation where one of their 4 coworkers didn't show. And so the three assassins joined up with a mercenary who had some previous dealings with their target, and the four of them did some activities to, which sounds like crafts for children. They did some activities. They prepared for their infiltration in a very professional manner with varying degrees of success. Their goal, to remind our listeners and our viewers, is to assassinate Doatara Kilorbian by midnight tonight, for the audacity that she had in slandering the good name of these evil assassins and putting a sloppy crime in their name, which, is just uncalled for. And so the four find themselves on the grounds of the Everbloom Manor. They have a couple options as to how they will even make it further onto the grounds, and from there, presumably somewhere on the property is their target. Take it away, Red Mantis Assassins and mercenary friend.
So, which of you or me or which of us should be the esteemed Spiro Curry?
Perhaps the one among us who can lie the best and also knows some things about Spiro Curry. Maybe we could sort of pool our knowledge there. As it is written, they who pool knowledge do it good.
That is definitely how it is written.
Like pearls of wisdom.
Does anyone even know anything about this? What ancestry is anything? If we're gonna pretend to be him, we need to know something, anything.
Jakob fixes Kengir with a gaze. What is there to know? And there's kind of no mirth on his face at this. Inside, everyone in there, weak. Their weakness kills poor people, people on front line, people who do things for them. There is nothing to know. This Spiro, they are, how you say, wet bread. Who amongst us is best at acting like they are not them?
Regardless of who we decide to send along, I do have something in my bag that may help if we're looking for a disguise. It's a disguise kit.
Well, we should probably disguise at least the one who used to work for the Mark. Just in general.
So, I am trained in deception. I have like an 8. But I was thinking that Jakob was probably going to go on the roof.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm
wondering.
Rocking a 12 deception, and I have a special Red Mantis mask. But I also
like a mantis, like an actual. You're gonna just wear that walking in, like it's
just like a big foam rubber mask.
It's a cheese head.
Like foam rubber pinchers that say number 1 is Lagordi on them.
As a favored servant of the Kaiser.
Favorite servant of Arthur the Aardvark.
Yeah, I do have a disguise kit as well, but I can offer if someone needs.
Well, perhaps Zia has made a fair remark in assuming we should disguise the person who has worked with the Mark before, and we'll look at you there. How familiar would you say with your face that person is? How familiar face? Keep all that in.
I've never met her face to face myself, so I don't know. She double-crossed me after my last job, but the two of us, as far as I know, have never been in a room together. She might not have any idea what I look like.
Very well.
We could... actually, let me say this in character, my horrible, horrible voice, and I'm again going to apologize for. We could, if one of you pretends to be this Cody, I could act as your bodyguard. I've already tricked at least one of the guards here into believing I'm here on security duty. It could help us get in a little easier if he happens to be the one working the door.
And young Jacob? How are we saying it?
Jacob.
Jacob.
But any way you would like, my mentor.
What was your plan? What did you wanted to do?
Well, I think good things come from the bear who drops from the branches, right?
Of course.
So I was thinking I'd go on the roof. I saw in my drunken stumble, air quotes, around the premises a stashed ladder in one of the bushes in the back.
Then perhaps...
Accents real loose. All these accents are real loose. I apologize to a lot of countries
Just
at
like
this
the
point.
continents, everything in the Eastern Hemisphere.
As Celine Dion once said when they dedicated a song to all of the mothers and all of the children. That's all of the people that I apologize to. So that's everybody. I think I got that covered.
Everyone.
I mean, if you need a ladder, sure, but I mean,
Are you volunteering
But,
to go with him?
sure, I can keep an eye on Jacob, make sure he doesn't, screw up since he's, not the greatest red mantis, Just, I'm not saying, I'm just saying.
Sounds like you're saying.
Well, I mean, you know what I mean. We all know,
Can I trust you two to be responsible on this rooftop?
I mean, so every joke has an element of truth, sure, yes, but at the end of the day, Zia and I are the product of all of your knowledge and experience, Italian. To trust us is to trust yourself.
Very
Yeah,
well.
that, but I was already pretty awesome, like, before, but then now I'm more awesome, because of you. And she's gonna put on her giant foam rubber red mantis mask, and then spend a minute activating it, which functions as a hat of disguise, giving her an illusory disguise, where she just looks like some other very fancy human woman who, belongs at a fancy party and totally not a red mantis assassin.
Well,
Maybe even wearing colors that aren't red.
Whoa. Well, I'm still wearing red and I'm going on that roof. Listen. I may have, and turns to Kangir, regardless of what happened at Temple Canyon, I hold nothing against you. But in case there's anything inside of there that might pluck at your very soul or send grip, here's this. And he offers a Bravo's Brew, which if you drink it, gives you a +1 to will saves for an hour, and a +2 versus will saves if it's versus fear. But I definitely don't need it, and it is a cool consumable, so you're more than welcome to it.
Thank you. Anything that may have happened past, it's water under the bridge. And let's just get this done.
You're right. Sorry. Wait, what?
Who invited the rat?
You're right, my friend.
Italian will clap a hand on Jakob's shoulder. Say, good. Yes. As we all know, the two trees who stand together in a forest and give each other gifts are generous trees. Generous trees indeed. Ooh, almost couldn't get through that one.
Just the most generous trees. We don't need a van. We just need a pithy sayings off between Jacob and Italian.
For 58 minutes.
There's like a front gate and a back gate, we think, or
Yep, so you are facing, well, where I placed you on the map, which doesn't have to be where you are. Approaching the manor there's a gate on sort of the main path, and around the north side of the manor there's another gate that grants access to sort of the rear garden area, and going around farther to the east side there's that is where Jakob noticed with his spyglass a stashed ladder in the bushes that looks like maybe the groundskeeper or somebody might use to gain roof access.
So it sounds like we're splitting the party?
Oh, yeah.
It sounds
Yeah.
delightfully like we're splitting the party.
Mm-hmm. Following
So
the
is
old
it?
maxim.
Are we doing a 2-1-1 split inside?
I mean, optional, right? Like, two people are theoretically going
Yeah.
to the roof, but you all can make your own decisions from there, and then I guess the two of us can go to the door. Or one of us can go around back. I
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah, I
I thought
think
we were doing two on the roof.
yeah,
I-
sneak
And then
team
two
going for
through
the
door.
roof, and
Team sneak. Yeah, and then do you want...
Wait, so is one of the people going to the roof doing it dressed as a party guy?
Well, if someone sees her, it should look like she got lost.
Yeah, I assumed she was gonna try to like sneak in another door in her outfit.
I mean, I have a disguise kit, so I suppose, and I mean, I'm normally just wearing like travel plus some explorer's clothes, which I guess are red, but I'm sure I have some other things. I might just be in. I could be Hare Krishna. You don't know. There might be a tambourine on my gear sheet. All you know is that you're gonna get at least some lentils and like a little bit of literature out of this. Anyway, so canonically, despite my tambourines, I am trying to sneak around the side of the mansion to the stashed ladder with Zia. But maybe would offer my disguise kit.
Give it to Kangir, and then we can both have one and be ready for a party.
Yeah,
Yeah.
here you go. Try to cover your war crimes with this.
I was gonna say, I don't know how I'm going to disguise a giant mantis head, but I'm going to figure it out.
You do have the option.
You can take the
I don't know if it's anathema to your deity or not. I don't think so. You could stash the mask for now. You don't have to wear it.
I mean, it's pretty telling to me that they're always wearing the mask in their artwork. That's,
it's
I mean,
true.
who am I to
Fair.
break character?
I like the idea of you creating a human mask. Exactly. Making a human mask over the mantis mask instead of taking it
Just
off.
a
It's still
paper
just the
plate.
mantis mask, but it's got like pancake makeup on it and stuff on it.
I think they're just ashamed of how much their actual elf face looks like Spiro Curry. Known party invitee.
But yeah, it looks like an anti IMF World Bank protest. You have a huge head, like the puppets at those things, in the
Yeah.
mid-90s. And just packed on top of that. I think that is perfect.
So, why don't we start with Sneak Team then? I've mentioned the northern gate because you observed that. You also know the walls around the outer portion of the manor, they're only 10 feet high, so you certainly have options as to how you gain entrance. You could go for the gate, you could try and just scale the wall closest to where the ladder is. Your imagination is your only limitation.
I believe Jakob would like to scale the wall near where the ladder is.
Well, not to be outdone, Zia would then absolutely have to scale the wall, but try to do it slightly faster.
So, yeah, no, I'm not going to do anything just yet. So, head that way. It's really funny to watch my icon move mid-high lateral kick. It's very like side-scrolling Mortal Kombat 1 style.
Definitely. Then, yes, stealth team, you find yourselves around the eastern side of Everbloom Manor, and before you in the ladder stands only a 10-foot wall.
Do you need an acrobatics?
Typically, climb would be athletics.
Oh, athletics. Sorry, athletics? Yes. Yes.
No problem.
17.
As an expert athlete, I got a 20. Non-natural.
An artificial 20, yeah. Yeah, you're each able to make it up. Well, Jakob's speed is higher, I believe, than Zia's, so he would probably make it to a full 10 feet, while Zia would make it up 5 feet. If there was, because it was the same degree of success, but just like in Pathfinder 1, your climb speed is a fraction of your normal movement speed. Jakob has an edge there.
That's pretty
an
mean.
advantage.
Speaking of which, our outside of the manor edge point can still be spent in the intermittent distance between this wall and actually breaching the manor, right?
Yeah, so Jakob, you yourself do have the benefits of this singular edge point.
It's just, my friend, the lead guitarist, keyboardist, and backing vocalist of U2 is also climbing up behind me.
Wow. It's a beautiful day. Throw another athletics check my way, you two, so that we can see if you're able to complete your climb.
16 this time.
What a 27.
So the one-upsmanship here from Zia has got to be impressive, because she starts farther down the wall, but is able to just, in an astonishing fashion, quickly finish her ascent, and then sort of do that quick one hand over the top, kind of vaulting back down, and manages to land just a moment before Jakob. And I will move you into the manor grounds proper. You did it. You are in the manor.
Nice.
You're still outside the home, but you've made it over the fence. By fence, I mean wall.
Do we see anyone around?
From your vantage point, why don't you throw me a perception check?
It's a 24.
22.
Yeah, so both of you hear before you see a patrolling guard sort of coming. They're a fair ways off, just kind of grumbling about, well, another of these parties, blah, 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 blah. They're off to the southwest, way down there, but you gather that they're working their way towards your direction, sort of a counterclockwise patrol. So you've got some options of whether you're going to try and wait until they pass, or see if they turn around, try and move quickly before they get in range of you? What do you guys want to do?
Do we know, like, where is the ladder compared to where we are now?
You are in the bushes with the ladder. That's how precise Jakob was. Impressive.
Show-offy move.
Yeah, if you'd fumbled that last climb, maybe you would have landed on the ladder and caused, some unwanted attention. Who could say?
I guess so. Having an action in between, Jakob's going to pull out his cat's eye elixir and drink it, which for the next minute I'll reduce the flat check against hidden creatures, and I don't need to attempt any flat check against concealed creatures as it is dark outside. And I'm going to take that.
To throw an option that is available to you three assassins as far as activities go throughout this event, there's a special thing that you three can do: assassinate. And so what that entails is, should you find yourself perhaps in the shadows or otherwise unobserved, you can attempt to quietly and quickly dispatch of somebody who has not noticed you yet, if they are your level or lower. What that entails is you get to stride up to half your speed as long as you end up next to this target, and make either an attack roll against their AC +5 or a deception or stealth check. And if you critically succeed, somehow, even if somebody else sees your target go down, you're able to avoid notice. If you regularly succeed, then you kill your target, but somebody else witnesses it, and there's an awareness point that's gained against you. The best part is, no matter what, you're killing this person because you're an assassin. Critically fail, no, you're 100% killing them. But it just sort of how much noise or attention it draws is by the success or lack thereof. So I'm not saying you should kill this guard, but you totally could.
It might be time to kill the guard.
A little behind the curtain, Jakob does not want to kill the guard. So Jakob is going to take their turn, in fact, consuming their dark vision elixir instead, to give themselves dark vision for the next 10 minutes. Don't tell the boss. I don't actually say that out loud, but yeah, I don't want to kill that guard.
And how far away is the guard?
Let's see, the guard from your location is a good 90 feet away.
Okay, so I think it would probably be foolish to rush out with the guard potentially on his way here. So I think I will also drink my dark vision elixir while waiting for this guy to get a little bit closer. Zia does not have any issues with assassinating said guy were he to get close enough.
Oh, and this guard will go ahead and continue their patrol. They're not at all in a hurry. They're wanting to make sure they're not missing anything. So they're just kind of walking along, seeing if they notice anything out of the ordinary. Zia, the ever stealthy, does remain unnoticed, but just passively, the guard gets a little bit suspicious maybe he catches a glimpse of red or something in the bushes from Yakov. And so I'm going to throw the three of you, the two assassins and the guard, in a little encounter, just mostly to get things in initiative order, to kind of see what plays out. I'm not saying it's going to be combat. I'm just saying there's going to be initiative order. That's all. So why don't we, since neither of you were actively choosing to hide, we'll just do perception for initiative. So yeah, conveniently, though you may be potentially noticed, Jakob does get to go first.
And what level of awareness do we have of this guard?
I mean, you're well aware that he is there. He would be concealed just from you're in the bushes, but he's not hidden from you. You're still hidden from him, but he is suspicious enough to probably try and seek on his turn to see if anything's actually there.
I am going to roll a stealth to hide, turn to Zia, and say, we should, oh God. we should, we should hide. It's a 24 for stealth.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Noted.
And then, I don't know, like, this is a deep 2E question, but if I use one action to stealth, can I use, like, my remaining actions to, like, ready to attack?
Yeah, so the way readied actions work in 2E is exactly that. You can spend 2 actions to define a trigger for a single action. So in your case, if you're readying to strike, whatever that might look like, you can do that.
So, if myself or Zia are discovered and they are within range, I would like to stunning fist the guard.
Okay. Sounds good.
And that is my turn. So that's all 3 actions.
All right, that brings us to the richer Zia.
All right, well, I'm just looking at some things on my character sheet and cursing the existence of verbal components for spells, not to give anything away, but I think what I'm going to do is Zia is pretty confident that were she to be found, she can react. No, let's see. I think she's going to delay to see where the guard goes now that he's close. I think she's just going to try to wait him out here.
Okay. So Zia delays, and then thanks to the adjectives, the youngest guard, he's just out here trying to do his patrol. All the older guards didn't want to put in the legwork, walking around the whole perimeter, so he's just here doing it himself. And he is going to sort of walk for his first action farther north to where he thinks maybe something is in this general direction. And then he is going to, for his second action, seek, and that is going to be a 30-foot cone sort of towards the east, checking along the wall there, and he is just going to see if he notices anything, or maybe it was just his imagination, and kind of squints for a second and then shrugs and continues on his way. So I don't know, Zia, if you wanted to reinsert yourself, if you're going to keep waiting.
How many actions is that assassinate? Is that a one action kind of deal, or?
It's an exploration activity.
Oh, okay.
It's not a mid encounter thing.
Okay.
I mean, effectively at this point, peek behind the curtain. Poor youngest guard rolled a natural one. Just is fully convinced it was just his imagination, and will just be continuing his patrol. So we could end the encounter at this point, unless somebody wants to prepare for an assassination or something. I'll keep that in mind. But
Well, I think since he left so vigorously after looking for us, like he went a full complement of movement forward, seems like he probably doesn't know we're here. I think the reign of terror doesn't have to begin just yet.
okay, we did it. We had an encounter. Let's pause on Stealth Squad. You've survived your brush with death of youngest T-Guard, and you are, for all intents and purposes, securely hidden here in the bushes. What about Kangir and Atelian? Are you going the route Kangir suggested of like, hey, I'll be your bodyguard, Spiro? Or
Yeah, I like it.
What's your plan?
I like it. Let's go
Yeah.
for it. I'll disguise kit myself as Spiro Curry with a mask.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, as seen in the amazing fan art that I whipped up during the
Yeah.
other teams.
Save that for when the episode goes out.
Oh yeah. So
yeah,
you've got a
so-
couple.
Just take a second to disguise whatever prep that looks like, and then head to the door. Maybe get behind a wall or a bush or something, so I'm just not out in the open changing my appearance.
Sure. Yeah, there's a gate sort of right to your south that's not taking you directly into the party, and then there's a gate just south of that, a smaller gate that would take you right into where the party is happening. Feel free to choose your gate.
So Atelian will turn to Kangir and be like, well, this is as much prep time as we'll have. I think we head straight for the front door. And what about you? What do you think?
I think it makes sense. Seems to be where, actually, before I say that, does that seem to be where everyone else is going in?
Everyone else is, from what you've gathered, no one else has came since you've been here. I feel like you'll be fashionably late, but
Fashionably
not
late,
like shockingly late. But like, we've all already been having a good time.
Yeah. Yeah, the front gate makes as much sense as anywhere else. Might as well, just pop in that... What is this accent? Might as well just go in that way. I have no idea what I sound like that. It's
Are
awful.
you sure you're not a Zill?
Right.
Got a horrible alien monster.
So I'd like to approach the door and present myself and my invitation as Spiro Curry. I guess, is it open? Do I knock? Can I knock? I'm gonna knock.
You knock, and the gate opens, and there is a guard, a female guard, standing before you, and says, "Yes."
Greetings, traveler. I assume you've traveled before. My name is Spiro Curry, and I'm here to attend the party. You can see as much by my invitation. I have an invitation, right?
No, you're just know that you're on the guest list.
I know that I'm on the guest list.
Oh, and she pulls out a notebook full of, crossed out names, and there, amazingly enough, is a name not crossed out. That may well be Spiro Curry. She looks at the name, kind of looks at you. She is...
She seen my disguise kit?
She rolled surprisingly well in her society roll to maybe have an idea of who this Spiro Curry is. I mean, not so much an appearance, but maybe enough to where you're gonna need a roll here to pass yourself off as the person you're claiming to be. That could be deception or performance or society.
Feel pretty good about deception. That's the one of those I have. All right, let's roll in the guy. This is a big one.
Don't look like an Anati.
Well, Spiro Curry is an Absalomian treasure.
Right? Better score than last time. Not great. But better than last time. That's a dirty 20.
Because you came in with a knowledge of a person to claim to be and didn't just show up as like, it's me, Jatelion. I'm on your guest list. That gave you a bit of a bonus, to which this guard pauses a moment and then crosses your name off the list and says, right this way.
Wonderful. I'm bringing my bodyguard with me for safety, as you know. Travel well. And we'll just move past them.
Yeah, Andrew's just gonna scowl and not say anything and just follow along.
Yeah, and the guard just moves back to sort of the party. You see now that you're here, this lovely garden party in process. There's a musician in the southern sort of center there along the edge of the garden playing an oversized harp. Just lackadaisically. There are some servants around with trays of food and other refreshments, and 23 other guests.
Do we recognize... Oh,
No, go ahead. I only had half a question ready.
Was it how many times that you can assassinate per turn?
do we recognize Doatara? Or Duatara? Is it Duatara or Doatara?
We're going with Doatara.
doTERRA.
Doatara. Dang. I don't know what is...
It's Doatara, like a duodenum.
So
Goopy Duatara.
Yeah, people at home, no time actually has passed this time since the last part where her name was said multiple times. My brain just isn't working.
Well, maybe King Gear's brain is working just fine. If you're looking around for Doatara, feel free to throw a perception check my way.
I keep rolling the thing because it's been working pretty well for me. Oh, not bad. That is a 27.
and a 31.
Inclusive King Gear.
Inclusive.
And 31 from the smaller Atelion. Now disguised as Spiro Curry. The two of you are very perceptive, and although it may look like there are only 5 or so different portraits of these for these 23 people, they're not actually a bunch of clones. You just see, various self-important noble people, and you're confident that you do not see Doatara down here at the garden party.
I would ask if we could identify anyone else, but I have no points in society, so I can't.
Me neither. But Atelian will turn to Kangir and say, now earlier when I did my reconnaissance, I had immense luck, so much luck, finding out stuff about Doatara, but you didn't. So maybe we could do that real quick. Just ask around about everyone's favorite thing in a non-suspicious way.
If I might give you a suggestion, boss, maybe we did arrive late. You could ask to be introduced to the host of the party and find her pretty easily that way.
Yes. Yes, I like this idea almost as much as if I'd considered it. As it is written, when it's a good idea, you gotta get that idea from someone else. It's what they say.
Yep. They do. I'm not arguing with you.
Yeah, I would love to ask. And actually, maybe... I don't know if I want to test my chances with the guard again. Anyone who
What's
looks...
your diplomacy?
What's my diplomacy? I don't think I have diplomacy. I do not. So, if you want to go for that, go for it.
Yeah, I just realized I have a +9 to that, even though technically I'm supposed to be your bodyguard. I just thought, I wonder what his diplomacy is.
We're all equals here.
So actually, I guess maybe then, since Kangar actually has points in it, she will walk up to one of the other nobles, this noblewoman here in the front, and say, excuse me, miss. My employer here is, we were a bit late. We got held up, and we were just wondering where the lady of the house is. We heard that Dortara was hosting this particular event. I don't happen to see her anywhere in here, though.
Yeah, so this woman who you walk up to, she looks down at you and doesn't give you a ton of attention at first, but she says, well, expecting to see her, but she's been waylaid in some form or fashion, I guess. Hopefully she joins the party soon.
Maybe the other half of the party already killed her.
Would be nice. Waylaid, Italian will say. As in, she hasn't yet arrived. She's not here on the premises.
Either of you, to keep this vapid noble's attention, should roll a diplomacy, which you could roll untrained. Assuming you're being polite about things, that would be the skill to roll. Otherwise, she's gonna...
Can I aid?
So you can. I think they lowered the DC in the remaster to 15 instead of a 20. Aiding is still harder than it is in 1E, though.
Well, I will try and roll untrained. I've never been diplomatic a day in my life. That's a 14.
So you don't help, but you don't make it worse, which is
Hey,
legit.
I'll take it.
That is a 15 diplomacy.
Yeah, she just kind of shrugs. She says, I'm sure she's here, and one of the other guests thought they saw her at a window earlier, but I don't know whether she's taken ill, if she's busy, but she's here and hasn't graced us with her presence.
Very well. You may return to your evening, right? Do you have anything else to ask?
Do we have anything else to ask? No.
What's in those canapes?
Okay, well... so I'll move away slightly from her so I can talk to my secret bodyguard in peace. Maybe out here. There we go. And, as part of my disguise, I'm going to dance just a little bit. Just
Sure.
just to avoid suspicions. Because it's a party. And
Of course.
while swaying from side to side, Will say to Kangir, perhaps we should go look for our compatriots, or maybe just the mark.
Yes, if she really isn't here yet, it's probably a good idea to let our companions know to keep an eye out. Could be something else going on here.
You make a good point.
She couldn't possibly know about your attempt on her head, could she?
Well, I wouldn't say it like that while we're standing in a crowd, but sure, yes. Then I'm inclined to just go exploring. That's what I'm thinking. It's like, let's ditch the crowd and squeeze on past. Which I will say in character. There's nothing for us here. We should go find the lady of the house, whoever she may be.
It's good to me.
Start with this path to the north because it seems relatively unguarded, except for by that guard.
Yeah, and nobody interferes. You're not a prisoner. So there's some expectation that as a guest you might explore a little bit, need to use the lavatory. I mean, there's, right now you're not doing anything that would draw suspicion.
Could we go inside? This looks like an inside place.
It is an inside place. I mean, presumably. You could certainly approach and try and open a door.
I'm not the planner here. Is there a reason we shouldn't go through this side door over here? There's this path over here also that I'm curious about. That goes to the south. That is me
Who could say?
asking Jero. Which direction
Oh, this
should
little
we go?
path over here. I see what you're talking about. Yeah.
We can go up to the front door and continue being brash about it. We can go to this little path and see where it goes.
I wonder if it doesn't seem like we're considered trespassing if we stay in the grounds. So maybe we just keep circling the house and look for a servant door or something. So like if we just keep going north up the path, maybe we'll see another door that's less obvious to every person in the party that we're opening it.
Fair? All right. Then let us go.
These are all windows, right? They have door symbols on them, but we can see through them, so I'm assuming they're windows.
Yeah, those are windows.
Okay.
They're in fact barred windows.
So they inspire courage.
Is this just a path that branches off into the side of a wall?
It sure is.
It's a nook.
So you do, as you approach and kind of wander along, you do see an interchangeable guard, which I love as the adjective he got. This is delightful. Yeah. He kind of comes around the corner there, and he doesn't look like the friendliest person.
That looks infected.
But kind of comes around and is like, kind of forces a smile and is like, can I help you?
Is he still up there?
Yeah. He walks
I'd like
a
to
little
move
bit closer, but
Yeah. I kind of want to assassinate him. We don't have to, and it would make a mess, but only if we critically don't succeed. Only if we do bad.
so love this plan. Go for the murder. However, that assassination exploration activity, you do need to be unnoticed by the target.
Oh, right. They've noticed us.
It's
Fair.
not
Okay,
just
take
like
it back.
hey bud, roll for murder.
Look that way. Got it. Okay. Let's deceive
I
him.
think, Kangir, after we kind of whisper to each other a bit, Kangir will step in front and say, "And who are you to be talking to the Spiro Curry?"
You know what? Just for giggles, he's gonna throw his own society check, see if he's even heard of this person. Wow, that's a great roll. So his sort of hard exterior softens a little bit because, of course, he's heard of Spiro Curry. Now, I greatly admire all you've done for Absalom, Mr. Curry, but as a guard of this manor, I must insist that if you feel the need to stretch your legs, you're welcome to do so closer to the north garden where the party is. You're welcome into the foyer if you wanted to get out of the moonlight, I guess, but just you understand how, despite your notoriety, I can't be giving you preferential treatment.
I don't understand at all. I've got some notoriety. I deserve preferential treatment. I think you should let me past. Also, what's over there?
It's not about what's over there. It's just about my orders are to keep these grounds free from people who... It's just my orders, sir.
Mm-hmm. And how long have you trained to become a guard, young man?
Sometime, as it's written. You can only train to become a guard, but if you lead a man to guarding, he can guard for his whole life.
Italian nods appreciatively. They do say that. And as wise as you are with your youth, I have to wonder, is that time training spent worth your life? And I'd like to try an intimidation check, and hopefully it's better than last time.
Okay.
Can we roll untrained aid in intimidation roll, or do you have to be trained in that one?
No, you can roll unchained.
Aid.
Okay. Let's see if I can aid. I only have a +1 to this, but she's gonna kind of just scowl and grip her spear and hopefully... Nope, that is an 8.
Yeah, so you don't aid, but you do manage to kind of demoralize this guard. Unfortunately, he's not really changing his opinion, but he is, mechanically frightened. So you're, if it comes down to my life, it's totally my job. But I really don't think we need to get so hostile about it. I mean, there's canapes back there. Did you see the lady with the harp? The harp is really big.
It's very large.
It's totally... You should just enjoy the party and not be so determined to check out the grounds of this house. I mean, it's pretty. I'll be honest with you, it's not like there's crazy stuff going on back there. It's just I'm supposed to keep people from just wandering about. Really, it's a big harp.
Well, let me ask you this. What other points of interest would you say we could find just wandering around? Just, for my edification. I won't go looking for any of them.
Oh, of course.
Quick deception. Hey, it's an 18 on the die.
Yeah, he's firmly convinced that you want to be edified by these points of interest. So what he'll tell you is that around the back is, a back garden that occasionally private guests, certain people are allowed access to. It's mostly just, pretty, nothing buck wild about it. There is, it's like a pretty nice bathroom inside, he says. Weird that he cares, but, he said there's also a chapel inside for, the really religious people who are into Ioma Day. And apart from that, it's just rich people have big old houses. It's like a big old house for rich people.
Of course. As it is said, the richer the person, the house be bigger.
Yeah, this crib do be big.
Indeed. Well, this has been an inspiring chat, and now I'm going to turn and walk away with my bodyguard. Here I go. And I'm just going to step into this little crevice here.
Are you attempting to do so stealthily? Or you're just walking right in front of this guy and then just hanging a left?
Yeah, but we're stepping in really quick. So it's like a regular walk and then a shoop. Oh, should I stealthily do that? Hang on, let's see.
Oh, please. Let's try.
Oh, it's not 20.
As I, who's probably 2 feet shorter than you, try to block you from you as you do it.
Wow.
That is a 20 plus stealth. Where is it? 13. 33.
Wow. So somehow, just because, he's a human, so he doesn't really have dark vision, he manages to not notice you dart in towards that nook as you critically succeed at hiding. Not the rogue, but impressively. And then, I don't know what Kangar is going to do.
Kangar is just going to keep walking forward, hoping that, he thinks it's both of us. Maybe it's dark enough that he sees a silhouette still walking back to the party and thinks that we're just, one in front of each other.
Just do a tall shadow puppet.
Yeah.
Okay, and then my plan from here is if the guard circles back around, then I can try assassin again because he doesn't know I'm here. So, I don't know, maybe here throws a stone that sounds like a person trying to break in. I don't know. I'm not usually in the planning seat team. This
could
is why I get
Kangar aid by maybe... could she aid by maybe, once she gets almost to the corner back down south, or I guess up north, because our map is flipped. Can she, maybe stop and call back and say, you said, I don't know if you can still hear me, but you said the foyer is open. What door do I go through for that? Try to draw the guard this way.
Yeah, and I mean, he's completely oblivious. So I think he would absolutely start walking towards you to respond. And if Atelion would like to make the inaugural murder check, you get a choice here. You can either attack against the AC +5 of this guard, or attempt a deception or a stealth check.
I think I'm going to attempt another... Ooh, actually, we're going to attempt stealth. That's a little higher. So I'd like to stealthily try and assassinate this guy. Just as he walks past, Atelion will slip out and do the, I don't know, some sort of Vulcan death grip thingy. That's cool. Okay, let's see. Roll 1d20 plus 13. Be a good roll. It's not a great roll. It's not a critical success. But it's a murder.
It is a murder. You're right. It was not a critical success, but it was a success. How could he have known? You would have leapt out from this nook, and sure enough, nobody other than maybe Kangar is aware of the fact that you have assassinated a guard, and that means nobody saw it. There's no awareness point gained against you. There's just a dead guard.
Yeah. Can we roll him into the bushes?
Well, what you're going to do about this dead guard, how you're going to avoid notice with it, we'll just have to find out next time, because I'm going to bed.
Yay, a murder.
Good night, Jeff. Good night, forever guard.
Good night, fellow murderers.
Night, Jeff.
Good night, interchangeable Jeff.
The interchangeable guard, the red shirt of the guards just got murdered. It's too
It
good.
was kind of written for us. We had no choice.
Foundry decided he was the one who had to die.
Against the machine. Against the machine.
Pot Against the Machine is property of Network Against the Machine LLC, all rights reserved. Pathfinder and the Iron Gods Adventure Path are property of Paizo Publishing. See their website for more details. Theme Against the Machine was written and performed by our own Zach. See the show notes for additional music and sound licensing. If you enjoyed the show, we encourage you to leave us a review.
I love that my dice luck continues. Whether
Is that the sound of an encounter beginning and ending? We all heard that, right? Because no one's
Yeah,
acknowledged.
no,
it.
yeah,
You didn't?
yeah,
nope, I don't have.
yeah. It sounds like there's somebody standing there with a guitar and they just go, like just one.
I didn't hear that. I must. Oh, I know why.
You might have Foundry muted.
I do have Foundry muted specifically for that.
Oh.
That's funny because I assumed I did, and I don't. So I just maybe it's not something the GM hears.
Yeah, I assumed when I first heard it that you all hear that with every encounter. But I'd never
Yeah.
heard it before.
I've never heard it before.
No, that was lovely. I didn't know there was going to be cool guitar riffs. Thanks, whatever module that is. I'm sure it's something I have turned on because this is not a module. This is just.
Oh, you just created this yourself? Yeah, then it could be one of your mods that you have.
Your Santana plugin is turned on.
Yeah, it's so smooth. Welcome back to Jimmy Fame Presents Bonus Against the Machine. More pod for your bod, sponsored by Charlie. Things were going so well. Welcome back to Jimmy Fame Presents. No.
Just
Whatever.
No.
We need some outtakes.
Yeah, I was gonna say
These are
we've
always some
we've only
quality
been perfect
outtakes.
so far.
the only thing people want to hear is us failing to speak, so
I know. Pretty soon it will be the Oops All Outtakes episode that's 45 seconds long, and then 59:51 of just outtakes.
Oh, it'll be our best. I say our best selling, our most downloaded app for sure.
It'll be best selling too. We're gonna put these ones up for
Oh yeah.
You got this.
that one only costs money.
yeah, none of the rest.